So, hi guys, welcome back to Code Explorer. Here I am Pavitra Banerjee with you, and you are watching this video as a part of our front-end projects playlist, which is totally dedicated to front-end projects using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And here we have already built two web applications using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and these projects have will help you to showcase your talent in front-end development. And today we will basically uh, choose an exciting project for your resume. So let's see what we can do. So as you can see, I am inside my projects page here inside my portfolio website, and today I have decided to basically I want to build a where it is, yes, here it is. Today I have decided to build an image search application. Okay, so as you can see, today we will build this. This is not too easy. Let's see that if you search for anything here, you can this, yeah. And if you tap on this so more button, you will get more pictures on the topic. And if you hit show more button again, you will get more pictures. Okay, so today we will learn that how we can build this. So for your information, I want to tell you that as you can see that when I will hover on this link, it is showing us the Unsplash link because we are using the API key of unsplash.com. So today in this project we will learn how can we use API key and how we can manage it, and how uh, we can build these types of applications. Okay, so basically this will help you to showcase your interest and showcase your capability in front-end development. And basically it is going to be an beginner to intermediate level project. So let's start the video. Today we will build this project. Okay, so let's start it. So for doing that, what we have to do, I will simply go to the front end folder inside my desktop, which I have created for this playlist, and I will open it with the VS Code. Okay, so as you can see that here we have two folders here. One is BMI calculator and one is tic-tac-toe. Basically we have already built these two projects. So if you have not checked the video yet, then I will give the link in the description box, and you will get the link in the I button too. So please check out those videos also. It will help you to showcase your talent in your resume. Okay, so today what we will do, we will build the image search application using Unsplash API key, and we will build it as a totally fully responsive. Okay, so let's start how we can do this. So for doing so, we have to create a new folder here inside my this front end project folder. So I will give it a name of image search. Okay, and now I want to create, we have to create three more files here. One will be for our HTML, so I will give it a name of index.html. Then I have to create another file which will be for our CSS file, so I will give it a name of style.css. And then we have to create another file here inside which will be for our JavaScript, so it will be script.js. Okay, so as you can see that we have already successfully built these three folders here. So as you know that while using VS Code and while we writing our HTML file, we have an emit option which is shift+1, and this will, when we will hit enter, it will create the basic boilerplate of an HTML file here inside our folder. So I will simply give it a name of image search app. Okay, so now I want to keep it live using the live server extension of VS Code. Okay, so as you can, so let me allow to refresh this page. fast. Okay, so as you can see that here it is. This is our image search app. Okay, so I want to keep those in one side, one page. So here it is, and I want to collapse this. We don't need this right now. Okay, so as you can see that here when you are seeing this, here we have nothing because we have not added any code here. So let's move how we can add this. So basically what will you do? Basically, as I have told you that we will make this page totally responsive. As you can see that this page is totally responsive. Okay, so today we will build this. So as you can see that here we have written an image search app as an heading. So we will use the h2 tag first. Okay, let's use the h1 tag, and then I will use image search app. Okay, and as you can see that the image search app is written here also. Okay, so you have seen that this is in center basically. So we will not use center tag to make it center. Today we will make it center by using our css file. Okay, css styling. Okay, so now let's see what we have. So here you can see that we have an input section, and then we have a search button. Okay, so what we can do basically here, we want to create a form. I will create a form here. So form, I don't need this action attribute here. I want to give it a class name which will be basically, let's suppose, form. Okay, and inside this form we have to create two sections, which one is for search images and one for this button. Okay, so let's create it. So we have to create an input section which will be basically text for us here. Okay, and I want to give it an id name which will be, let's suppose, uh, search input. Let's suppose I will create this id name here, and here you can see that we have a placeholder. So I want to give it a placeholder. So same here, we have written here search for image, and let's three dot. Okay, and I want to terminate this also. This is the best practice, but as you can know that input tag is an basically open tag, so you don't need to close it. But if you close it, it is the best practice for your website designing, web development skill. Okay, so now we have to create our button here. So for doing that, we will create the button tag, and I want to give it an id name because we have to style this, and we have to create the JavaScript functionality with it in. So we need this. So this is why I want to create an id name. So what will be the id name? Okay, let's suppose so more button, let's suppose, and I want to give it a name here which will be search. Okay, so let's see how our page is looking like. Okay, you can see that here we have, okay, here we can input, here we can give input. Okay, so now what we can do, now we, as you know that when we will hit any search here, then we need to create this result page, and then we have to create this show more button also, right? So for that I want to create another, we want to use the div tag here for that, and I want to give it a class name which will be, let's suppose, search results. Okay, because this is our results page, so search results. And I want another button here also, so button which will be basically show more button, and what we want, we have to, okay, sorry, I have given these id name as search more button. Sorry, we don't need it. This is our search more button. We otherwise we will be confused, right? So this is our show more button, and here inside this id name I want to give it an id. Let's suppose search button, search button. Okay, now let's see that how our web page is looking like. As you can see that it is now here. So we have to fix this when we will write our javascript code. Okay, for now what will you do? First we have to uh, basically our front end is basically ready. Okay, html is over here because we don't need to any html code here inside. Basically our major part, what will you do inside this project, we have to use css to style this, and we need javascript to make it functional, totally responsive and working. Okay, so now let's move to our style.css file. So how we can style our file? Okay, so for doing that, first I will target our body. So inside here, inside our body, I want an background gradient. Okay, so I want to show you that I have already built an gradient and generator inside my C portfolio website. So I will simply use any gradient color from here. So generate, so what color can I choose? Okay, let's suppose I will choose this color for now. Okay, I will simply hit copy here. I will provide you the gradient generator link here also in the description box, so you can use this for your uh, profile, for your projects. Okay, so now I want to see that here it happens nothing, right? Oh, it happens nothing because we have not imported our css file here yet. So we have to import style.css here. So as you can see that now our linear gradient is ready. Okay, okay, and what we have to, we have to import our script.js here also. So say I want to simply hit this and script.js will be imported here. Okay, so now let's move to our styling here using the css. So what we can do, I want a font family here, and I want a font family. Basically, let's suppose I want Arial. Okay, let's suppose Arial is here. Okay, now I want to give it a line height of, let's suppose, 1.6. So that is for me right now. Okay, and I want to give it a margin of 0. 0. Okay, for now I am giving it. We can change it later also if we need this to change. Okay, so we have defined our body here. So now what we can do, we have to target our h1 tag to make it center. Okay, let's move it to it. So let's target our h1 tag here. So now I want to simply give it a font size of, let's suppose, 35 pixels, let's suppose. And now I want a font weight of here, which will be, I want bold. Okay, and I want its text line should be center. As you can see that what I have told you, that today we will use this css to make it center. Okay, so this is how we can make any text to center, any element to center we can use here using this alignment tags of anything. Okay, so we will see everything later in our this tutorial series, or we have I have already started and another tutorial series for front-end development technologies, like where I have already started to teach you html. And then after completing html we will move to the next another topics like css, javascript. Then we will learn about javascript technologies, and then we will move to the backend also. So if you have not checked that playlist, I will give the link in the description box, so please check it out. Okay, now I have to I want a margin here. So let's suppose suppose margin top basically will be, let's suppose 40 pixel, let's suppose, and I want another margin button here which will be 60 pixel. I want to create this. Okay, I think this is looking like this. No, this is not looking like. Okay, we will fix this. Okay. So I think our h1 tag is enough for, we have make enough styling for our h1 tag. Now we have to move to our next. So as you can see that we have our form here, right? Okay. So let's see what we can do. So I want to simply target our form, and now I want to make it responsive. I want to, sorry, we want to basically display flex property we will use. Then we will use justify content, which will be basically, for now it will be center, and then we want to align items. Let's suppose align items which will be also center, let's suppose. Okay, and then let's suppose I want to give it a margin from the bottom, because the show more button is here. So when we will create another files, we will import the JavaScript function here. It will be insert with it. So I want a margin button which I want to give it in 60 pixels, let's suppose. Okay. Okay. Now let's move to our next. So I want to now style our this input section, right? Okay. So search input. Let's target our search input, which is then class name, right? I have forwarded. No. This is an ID name. So we have to select ID selector. So ID selector is like this. Search input, and this will be. I want to give it a width of, let's suppose, 60%. I want to give it right now. 40%, 60%. Okay, as you can see, and now I want to give it a maximum width. So to control it, so I want to give it a, let's suppose, 40, 400 pixels. One. Okay, 400 pixels for now. And now I want to give it a padding here. So padding, let's suppose padding will be maybe 10 pixel top and bottom. And why I am giving this comma here, I don't know. Padding, and what I want now, here I am saying that this is taking a border, so I don't want this border right now. So I want simply border none. Okay, so border none. Now I want to give it a box shadow. I want this box shadow property here, and I want to give it an 0 and then 5 pixel, and then I want to give it an RGBA value. Let's suppose I want to give it an RGBA value, and this will be, let's suppose, 0 0 0 and 0.2 of. Okay, let's suppose. Okay, so now I think this is looking perfect. Okay, for now we have to, as you can see that here we have a border radius here. Okay, so I will give a border radius here also. So I will use the border radius. The border radius, let's suppose, 5 pixel. Okay, now I want to font size here. Font size, maybe, let's suppose font size will be 20 pixels. Let's 20. Okay, let's suppose font size will be 20 pixels, let's suppose. And I wanted a color. Color, I want to give it color, which will be, let's suppose, okay. So I think now this is perfect. Yes, now this is looking great. Now what we have to do basically, now I want to target this search button here. So I have to take this id name here also, search button id. I want to target these right now. Hashtag search button. So let's suppose, so what we can do, I want to give it an padding, like same padding will be, let's suppose 10 pixel and 20 pixels. Okay, okay, perfect. Now I want to give it an background color, let's suppose. So let me see what is the background color here. Okay, so I want we can give green, greenish effect where, okay, let's use this. This is not so bad, not so bad, but okay, we can fix this later also. So for now I am giving these types of button. And now here I want the color of the text. Color of the text I want this white, so I will simply type white here. So you can see the text is now white. And now I want, you can see that here it's also on border, so I don't want any border here, so border will be none. Let's suppose none. And what we can do, okay, I want to make it in curve. Okay, border none दे दिए कर. Now I want to increase the font size. Okay, let's suppose increase the font size. So font size, let's suppose it will be also 20 pixels. Okay, and what we can do, we can use the box shadow. So I will simply copy the same value from here. Okay, I want to simply copy this value and I will simply paste it here. Okay, now I have to give it an um, mm, okay, so let's suppose make it cursor, make the cursor pointer first. Cursor pointer, because the cursor was not pointer. Now if you see that the cursor is pointer now. And now I want to give it an border radius here also. So let's suppose it will be 5 pixels again. Okay, yes, so let's increase this and see. Okay, this is not so bad but not so good also. We have to fix this. So let me fix this also. uh, what I can do here, here I want space, so I want to give it an margin here. So let me margin left side, let's suppose it will be 10 pixels, let's suppose. Okay, this is now perfect. And I want to give it right now like transition. I want a transition I want. So I want a transition in background color, and I want to give it an for 0.3 seconds, let's suppose. And I want an ease in out. Okay, so as you can see that we have defined this. So I want, when we use this transition uh, value, so we have to define the transition value while we hover on it. So what I have to do, I have to search button hover. I have to give it a hover value. So the hover value will be uh, let's suppose the hover value should maybe, for background color we have to define the background color, and the background color may be, let's suppose, what color can I transform here? Dark blue. Okay, let's suppose. Okay, now I think this is perfect, right? Okay, this is working perfectly. Okay, so we have made this styling completely. So what I want, so that I don't need these 60 pixel here. I want to decrease this from 20 pixel. Okay, let's suppose 20 pixel. 20 pixel is enough, right? Okay. Now this is looking good. So now I want to target this home more button also. So what I can do, I want to define the show more button here. So what is the name here? I have to check this. So this is basically show more buttons. Okay. So I will target the show more button right now. Show more button, and now I have to target this. So I want to do it in background color first. So let's suppose brown. No, brown is not so well for it. I have to give it a this type. Let's suppose this with this. Okay, now this is looking good, and I want to as you can see that there is a border, so I don't want any border here. So border, let's suppose none. Border will be none. And now what I want to do, I want the text color should be white, so let's suppose the text will be white. Text white. Okay, now the color is getting okay. This is perfect right now. So now what we can do, we can give it a padding. Let's suppose the same padding what we are using. Let's suppose 10 pixels support and 20 pixel from side. Okay. Okay. Now I want if this display property to block will block. Okay, display is blocked. And now what I wanted some margin here, so margin should be let's suppose for 20 pixels bottom, and then I wanted some auto, so it will go to the middle. Okay. Okay, so now it will be totally responsive also. So we are making this project while we are basically making this project, and we are also making it responsive while we are writing this code. Okay, so what we can do now, uh, okay, let's suppose text align, let's suppose should be center. Okay, and I want to give it a border radius, so same 5 pixels, let's suppose 5 pixels. And okay, we want the cursor should be pointer, so cursor should be pointer. So now the cursor should be pointer. Okay, the cursor is now pointer. And now I want an transition here. Transition should be, let's suppose for background color again, for background color, then I want an same value what we have done from that 0.3 second, and we want to give it a property is now. Okay, so as we have defined this background color, so we have to define this on hover. So I will simply copy this, then while on hover effect on it, we have to give the where back, we have to define the background color here. So background color, what color can we give it? So let's suppose coral for now. The color is matching this, so we have to check this. Okay, now I think this is perfect, right? Okay. Okay, this is perfect now. And now I want to I don't want to show this all the time, so I want to display, set it this display basically for, let's suppose none. Where is none? None. Okay, it's gone. Basically I want that when our first page will come, at that time I want this. So for now I don't want to show this. Okay, so this is why I have keeping this display property as none. Okay, so I think we have written enough CSS code for now. So now we need to move to our uh, CSS JavaScript file. Okay, now we should start our JavaScript coding. So now I want to tell you first that you need an API key of unsplash.com to build this project. So how you can get this? So simply go to your Google and search for Unsplash API. Then you will get this Unsplash API documentation. Okay, here where are my apps? Okay, here you can also pass this client ID parameter. How you can here when you will read this at that time, basically you can read how you can use the API key and how using this API key your image will come. Okay, so I have already read this and I now I what is that where is my your app? I want this your app. Okay, so for no search image app, so I have already made an API key, so I will simply copy this API key for now and I will show you that how you can use it. So you have to first create your own API key. You have to go to this answers.com and there you have to go to your make your an developer's account. Then you have to create an API key and this is totally free of cost, so you can do it. Okay, so what you can do now, what I can do now, so I want to give it a variable name which will be access as access key. Let's suppose the variable name access key, and this will be and string which will contain our API key. Okay, this is our API key. And now I want to create okay, what we have to do, basically I want to select all these selectors from here and I want to import them into our JavaScript. Okay, so I want to create a constant, let's suppose create a form element, let's suppose form element form el and document dot I want to get it from query selector, so I will simply use this query selector. And here I have to choose the name which is home. Here we have our home. Okay, now what I want to define another constant which will be let for search search input. Okay, like search input, search input, and this will be nothing but we have to go to document dot and yeah, we have this id name, so get element by id we will click here and we have to define this, that what is our id name is, we have our id name is search input, right, search input. So you have to check all the spellings here, because if your spelling are mistaken, mistake you made any spelling mistake, it will not work. Okay, so you have to handle this perfectly. So now let's suppose what we can do. Mhm. Here you can see that we have a search results page, right? So I will simply const search results and I want to give the name of document dot, and here we don't have any, so I have to use that class name as a class. We are selecting this, so we have to define this. So using this full stop we are showing defining that this is our class. So what was the class name, let me see once, search results, right, search results, search results. Okay, so we have defined it and now I want to define the button, right, show more button. I want to define this also. So const show more button. I want to define this, and this will be an id selector. So I will use this id selector document dot get element by id, and I will select the id as an show more button. Okay, so we have already defined all the variables name from and which will be basically used to select our these html elements, right? Okay, so now what we have to do, let's suppose I want an input data here, which will be for now this is an empty string, and I want an let page, basically page is, let's suppose, 1. So now this is the main time that where we have to define all the functions for, and we have to define the functions, and we have to call the API to where the API will interact with the server, and it will fetch the required image which we are wanting to show in our page. Okay, so let's see how we can build that. So for doing that, I want to define a function. Let's suppose function which will be search images. We want to define a function, and what we can do, okay, let's, you can see that we have input data. So I will simply choose this input data, and this will be basically for as our search input, which will which will take the input from our user. So we have to pass this sorry, search input with the search input, and we want to access its value. So we want to access its value. No. Value. What is happening with it? Okay. Search input dot value we want is. So now you have to understand that how our API key of Unsplash.com basically works. So we have to define an constant URL for that. So constant URL will be, let's suppose the URL will be and variable name. So the URL will be variable, so we have can use this, and the URL will be https://api dot unsplash dot com search photos, and then photos, and then we have to define the page. So page will be, okay, as you can see that GitHub Copilot is suggesting me, that is great. And our query will be basically our input data. Yes, query will be input data, and our client ID, and client client ID will be basically the access key, right? We have already defined the access key variable. Okay, so this will be our URL for any search. Here you can see that this access key is an also a variable. You can change this variable also. This input data is a string, which is also a variable, and this page, this is an also a variable. When we can, the page will be the number. Okay, so now what we can do, I can do basically, I can create another which will be, let's suppose, response, and response to so we have to define an await function, and let's suppose I want an await function here, so I want an await fetch. So fetch, what will it fetch? It will fetch basically our URL. Okay, and let's suppose I want to define another data which will basically an await function also, and it will add this response with the JSON file. Okay, we have not. Okay, we have to. Okay, the function should be asking to use this await. Okay, so it will be async function. Now this is perfect. Okay, so for now, let's suppose what we can do. I want that if page equals to 1. Okay, I want to use triple equals to because it will basically a number. So for we don't want any error, so it is why we want to be safe. So while using the second two equals, we want to use the three equals because that is more sufficient, more efficient, more efficient to way to say control our API keys. So okay, so for now, if page I want that, what will you do? It will search result page, will get an, okay, let's suppose search results page which will take it to the inner HTML as an empty string. What I am doing, an empty string. Okay, I think this is perfect now. And now what we can do? Is it coming? No, this is not coming yet. So maybe it is not complete yet. Okay, so we have not make total, we have to make this. Okay, so I want another constant variable here which will be, let's suppose, results. Okay, constant result which will basically data dot result, data dot result. Okay, okay, now I want to make this result as a map. I want to map this result. Okay, so results would be, we want to map this result. So we want to have to use the result map function, and basically this will take a parameter of a result. Let's suppose result is in parameter, and I want to create an arrow function here. Okay, so I want to define another constant here, so which will be basically, let's suppose, image wrapper, and it will create a new element here because it is why I want to create a new element inside our HTML code using this JavaScript, because when our image will be shown, how we can show them. It is why I want to create this HTML in this inner HTML function, and it will directly connect with the HTML, and it will fetch the whole page, and it will create another layering with it. Okay, so what we can do? So document dot create element, where is create element, create element, and I want to create another element as div. We want to create a div element here. Okay, so now we have to define the image wrapper, which will be a class list, which will be add a class list, and it will add a class list. So I want to give it a class list name which will be, let's suppose, what we have done here. So we have already done, we have already defined the search result, so let's suppose it will be search result. Okay, class list dot add, we have to add these, which will be, let's suppose, search result. We want to add this. Now again I want to create another, which will be, let's suppose, font image, and the image will be create another element there. So it will be create element, and it will basically be an image tag. Let's use this an image tag, and we want the image should add an file as a source file, which will be property of this, and this will be basically the result parameter. And the result parameter, and what we can do, we can pass the URL using small. Okay, and now I have to add an alt attribute for this, so image alt. So, and this will basically, what it will do, this will result, and alt description, right? I have defined that alt description, okay. Yes, sorry, I image I made it wrong. Okay, now I want to create another const. Basically, let's suppose it will be an image link, and I want to create another document dot create element, and I want to create an element using the anchor tag. So I am simply using this, and we have to define this also. So image link will basically, I want this href one property, and this will basically result, no, not URL, it will basically links.html, links to our HTML file. Okay, and the image link and the target, we want the target result, no, we don't need to result. I want to define this like as blank. Let's suppose blank. Okay, and we have to define another, because image link will be an create, and we want this should an text format. So I want this text content property, and this will basically give the result to an alt description. Okay, we have defined this. Now what we can do, we have to connect all these image wrapper, image, and image link inside one. So what is the parent here? Let's do it. Basically what we can do, basically image wrapper will be an append child of which, this will be an append child of our image. Left it an image. Okay, and the image wrapper will be another create and another append child, namely, let's suppose our image link. Okay, and we want to give this image wrapper as an append child of our this search result. Okay, so I want to define this here like that. Search result will be an append child. So what I was telling you, that this should be an append child of search result. Image wrapper will be an append child of the search result. I want that. So simply image wrapper here. Image wrapper will go here. Okay. So I think we have defined this. So now what we can do? Now I uh, want that the page should be basically increasing order. Okay. Now what if that the page is greater than 1? So we have to define that if the page is greater than 1, at that time the show more button should work. Show more button, and it's we want this style property, and the display property which we want. Now this should be block which we have defined there. Okay. Now to make it functional, what we want, uh, we have to add event listeners on it. So the form element we will have to define a given event listener. So in the form element we want to add event listener here, and event listener here, and here it will basically work for the submit. When the user will submit, at that time we want to give it an parameter which will be, let's suppose, an event parameter, and we want to give it what is here. We want this, and we have to close this, otherwise it will show us error. So now the event parameter I want this should be, it will be event default. uh, it is not suggesting me. Okay, suggesting me event default, and the page will be for submission, it will be 1, and it will basically, we want this search result function. No, so not search result, we want the search images function here. Okay. On here you have to check these names because this may cause your error. Now we want to give the add event listener to the submit the search show more button also. So for that we have to target our show more button, and there we have to add an event listener which will be basically for click function. For click we don't want to pass any value in it, but I want an arrow function here. What I am doing, man? Here I want this. Okay. So inside this show more button, what will you do? Basically, I want to render the search images function again. Search images function again. Okay. So I think this should work now. So let's start. What is wrong with this? Okay. First we have to made the CSS styling for the defines we have defined inside our JavaScript. So for that we have defined and search result, right? For we have to define the search result. Okay, so let me define this. So search result was then class name. Okay, so dot search search result will be, I want to it's and display should be this display should be text, and the text wrap should be wrapped. I want to wrap it. Then I want to justify content, which will be basically space between, and I want to give it a maximum width of no fit content. No, I want to give it a, let's suppose 1200 pixels, and I want to give it a margin which will be 0 and auto will bring it to middle, and I want to give it a padding also, so the padding will be 20 pixels. Let's suppose 20 pixels. Okay, now we have to define these also, which I have made, that is the search result, image, and anchor tags. Okay, we have to make the styling for these three also. So how we can do that? So we are creating the search result as a class, so we have to simply select this search result as a class, and I want to give it a margin bottom. First I want to give it a margin bottom of 60 pixels, and I want its width should be 30%, and then I want, it is why because I want three image in one line. Okay, so now what we can do, uh, border radius I want to give, the border radius should be let's suppose 5 pixel, and a box shadow. Okay, for the back side box shadow I want the same value here, so I will simply copy this and will simply paste it here. Okay, now we don't need any overflow, so overflow should be hidden. Okay, okay, now let's move to that. We have created an search result inside this image. Okay, image wrapper, we have added the image tag. Okay, so for that we have to give one style here. So search result image, I have to target it, and it will be it should take an width of 100%. It will take an width of 100%, and then what we want, height should be 200 pixels. I want this, and the object feed should be cover. Object feed should be cover. Okay, and I want a transition here also, so I want a transition, so the transition will be with transform property. So I want transform property which will be for same 0.3 second is now I want it. So as we have defined this transform here, so we have to make this on hover also. So start this dot search result, then we need to hover on it, and we have to select this image here. At the time we need this transform property, and the transform property will be scale basically, and we want this as 1.05. Let's suppose 1.05. Will this work now? This is not working yet, but this should work. Now this is working, but all are not coming here, so we have to fix all the tag we have used. We have to complete this first. Okay, now let's complete it. So search result, we have then an anchor tag here. So I want an anchor tag of, let's suppose, padding should be 10 pixel, and then we have, and we want to give it an display which will be block we want. So then we want an another color property we want to give it, and which will be, let's suppose, black 63. And then we want to give it an text decoration. Where is text decoration? So we don't need any text decoration, so it will be none. Okay, and here we also want to give it an transition property. I want, and it should be an background color property. Then we want to give it an 0.3 second, and same is the new out. Okay, so as we have already defined this, so we have to define the hover on it. Search result, hover, then a, we want to give it an background color which will be, I want to give it an RGBA value. Let's suppose it should be an RGBA, and for now I want to give this not 0.2, it is 0.1. Okay, now what I can do, I have to use the show more button here. So show more button was my id. So show more button, I want to target these, and this should be an background color. Oh sorry, I think we have already defined the show more button. Yes, we have already defined that. So I think now the code is uh, ready for now. Okay, so let's test this. So as I was telling you that now this should work, so let's try. Okay, as you can see that this is now working. Yes, now this is working totally. So what we can do basically, now we can uh, change this. Let me show you that how this is looking here in this large screen. This is looking perfect, but while we are making this like uh, making this like this, at that time this is not looking perfect because it is now looking like three columns. So we have to fix this using css. Okay, so we will use the media query. So how we can fix this, let's try that. So for doing that, what we have to do, we have to put our media screen size and screen, and we want a maximum width. Yes, it's registering me perfect. So for 768 pixels device. So the search result, I want that it should take uh, the width of, let's suppose, of 100%. Okay, but okay, as you can see, no, we don't want this. So we want this for 480 pixels only, which is for our small screen device. Okay, and as you can see, that when it will be our small screen size device. It is not showing here. Okay, let me first show you. And what will you do? I will simply copy it again, and when I will copy this, I will simply paste this, and this will be left for 768 pixels. Okay, and while for 7 for I want that it should show us only two. Yes, I want this only two images here. Yes, now I think this is perfect, but what we want, uh, we want to fix something more in our 480, that we want this our form, sorry, our form should uh, take its text direction to column. Okay, and one more thing I want, the search result, search input basically for me. Search input I want for now. This is uh, the search input should, I want that this margin with the margin bottom, I want it as 20 pixel, and I want to give it an width of 85%. Width of 85% only percent. Okay, now I think this is perfect. Okay, let's check this. As you can see, this is, now what if when we will put show more button, so the show more button is working well, and we want to inspect this now. And if we have done something wrong, with the css, we have to fix the css media query here. So what we can do, let me check once what we have done mistake. So search result will be for 45%, and for 480 pixel we have to, our search result as with 100%, and for the flex text should be column. And no, I think this is perfect, but why this is not showing perfectly? Okay, let me first fix this as iPhone 12 Pro. Okay. So let me check once here that what the difference between these two. Now when I will just put it out here, it is showing me something, and oh sorry, yeah, this is perfect, but I want to show the image. What the wrong I have done? Let me check once that the maximum width when it will be 40. I have put it here, and what I am giving here, that the searching program Excel, okay, it's perfect, but search result would should take 100%, right? Now let's check that if it is checking. Yes, okay. So you can see that we have successfully fixed it. So now I want to add an footer credit section here also. I want to give it here. So I want to add an footer section here. So footer, and footer will be uh, copyright and copy https banerjee dot newsgoogle.org. Okay, we have to close this anchor tag here, and then I want to use a span tag, and then I want to write my name, Chitra Banerjee. Copyright copy. I want to add the name here, and then I want to give it. Now I want to give it style attribute here, and then I want to give it an text alignment should be center. Okay, and I also want an padding here of, let's suppose, 10 pixels, and here I want also an background color. So the background color will be, let's suppose, uh, this antique white. Okay, and here I want an here I want a style attribute again, and this will take as color will be crimson. Font weight should be bold. Okay, and I want to give a text decoration to none. Okay, I think this will now work perfectly. As you can see, now this is what's looking like perfectly. Yes, now this is perfect. So hope you guys have understood this, that how you can build and these types of uh, web application using API keys. So this was a tutorial for this. So hope you guys have understood and you guys have loved this video. So now if you have not subscribed our channel yet, then please subscribe to get this types of content every day. And if this video helps you, then please hit the like button and please share this video with your friends to build, help them also to build such type of projects. And I will share this code pen link of this project with you in the description box, so please check that. Okay, so till then, keep watching our channel. We will meet you in the next video. So stay safe and happy coding.